Next up we have, this is a Nova series. It's a Stillman and Burn. So let's give it a little test. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to try to use the same supplies on this black paper. It's not watercolor, it's mixed media, and it might seem weird to test our black inks. The reason I'm doing this is because sometimes there's a difference in the black inks and the black paper. And sometimes that can be quite interesting. So I'm starting with the Posca, and you can see how it looks shiny and then it dries pretty quickly. And then switching over, this one is the paint pen that's filled with the Montana Shock Black ink. That is my just workhorse. I've used that pen for several years. Keep refilling it. And now checking in with our Microns, they barely showed up, so they're not going to be helpful. And now let's check in. These are the gel pens. And again, just know that these white ones, they are finicky. The key, I found that they worked really well on a smooth paper with very light pressure, where it's almost just kind of hovering almost above it. And this is my favorite. This is an acrylic paint pen. This is that Art. It has a dual tip, so you can see it has a bold bullet tip on one side and a thinner bullet tip on the other. I'll drop a link in the description so you can see if it's like a 0.7 and a 0.3. I can't remember. But these are all working really well. I've used these, the Stillman and Burn for several travel journals. And let's see what the watercolor looks like on it. I'm expecting this to not be very good. I was right. So because watercolor is transparent, you've got to use different paints on the black papers. So this is a set of my Finetecs metallics, and I've used these before on black paper, and they are so satisfying. So you can see it kind of ranges. These are some bronze and some golds that I have here into a silver and maybe a platinum. These work great on this type of paper. Now, actually, let me change that. They work great on the smoothness of the paper, but you have to watch. I've got a little too much water on my brush for these because on that mixed media paper, it almost sits on top of it a little bit. But these are really lovely. So I know if I used this paper, I would have to adjust. I'd probably use maybe a gouache or let's see. The acrylic paint pens are really good. So I could use Poscas. I could use the Art. Now, one thing I'm not testing on this that might be kind of interesting would be some colored pencil or some of the Neo Color 2, those little wax pastels. So let me dry this off, and yeah, I think this could be an interesting test, and this could be an interesting journal, but I don't know that it's exactly what I want to do for a full journal right now. But if you have something else you'd like me to test on this black paper, just drop it in the comments, because this is just the beginning. All right, hope you have a wonderful day. Find a little space for creativity.